How did a young ranked star who just posted YouTube clips become one of the most well-respected Siege influencers and change how we all play the game today? This is the story of the most influential ranked player in Siege history. This is the story of Beaulo. On June 19th, 2001, Beaulo was born in Riverside County, California. At just 5 years old, he and his family packed up their things and moved to Las Vegas. After a childhood filled with sports, his first taste of gaming was just a few years later, when his older brother would introduce him to a very popular game at the time, which was World of Warcraft. This is the start of Jason Beaulo Doty. So, how did he eventually come to Rainbow Six Siege? Well, it actually wasn't immediate. He would play PC games on and off for a while, until he was introduced to his first shooter game, which was actually CSGO. He would play and get good at CSGO for the better part of 3 years as a child, until December 1st of 2015, when Rainbow Six Siege would be released to the public.
When I first saw the trailer, it seemed pretty interesting, but when I started playing the beta, I got into the beta, it was, I guess, really just like love at first sight. I was hooked.
At this time, Beaulo was just 14 years old, so when the game came out, he wasn't actually super good at the game.
I didn't really have, I guess, that quote-unquote aim, the super sick flicks on other games. It really kind of developed with Siege.
As time went on, however, Beaulo's skill would start to develop, going from your average Siege player to above average, and going from above average to an icon. But what exactly does that mean? Some people become a Siege icon for many reasons. You have Kickstar being an exceptional caster, Jinxie being a popular streamer, Shaiiko being a mechanical god, but what was so special about Beaulo? Well, at first, it was just his raw aim. His aim was so far ahead of the curve, at least for Siege, that he'd actually draw in cheating allegations from pro players very early on in his career. But more on that later. For now, Beaulo was just a kid that made everyone he went against scared out of their mind.
You're muted.
Yeah, okay. He just randomly shot through the garage, dude. Literally, he shot at one spot, he completely flicked to the other side of the garage and shot and killed me. Beaulo is not, this kid's not legit.
No drone, sprint on in with the call out of they're in church, and so he just sprints through. Nope, I don't even care if he's just gonna go use this in a meme video. I'm gonna report Beaulo every single time I ever play him.
The way Beaulo changed the game didn't have anything to do with his aim, but actually his movement. After a while of playing Siege and getting good mechanics, he eventually invented what many of you know now as a standard quick peek. But back then, it wasn't called a quick peek. It was just called the Beaulo lean. It was the ability to lean behind a wall and peek from the wall so fast that the enemy wouldn't react, but you'd get just enough time to get information for a kill due to their delayed reaction time. This is what it looked like. And this was initially the start of how Beaulo would change Siege forever. At this time, Beaulo had quickly become the biggest Siege streamer in the world, while still being underage. And when you're this good at the game, your fans will want to start to copy you. Every ash-rushing quick leaner that you've ever gone against was actually inspired by Beaulo, whether they even realize it or not, because he's the one that played the slow-paced game in a fast-paced way. Instead of playing the game in a slow and calculating way, Beaulo played the game he wanted to. And funnily enough, it was actually a better way to play the game in general. Enter the Beaulo era.
Alright. Where is it? Bar again. Purple bar. Alright.
Oh.
There's another one there. Yeah.
Oh.
Montage. Montage. Hold on.
At this point, Beaulo had solidified himself as the most talented Siege content creator at the time. But when you've already achieved so much, what left is there to do? At this point, Beaulo would answer that question by becoming a pro Rainbow Six Siege player, signing on to one of the best North American teams at the time, TSM. And on that team was a man named Achieved, who is the same man in the clip I showed you earlier who accused him of cheating. That was pretty awkward to say the least, but ironically enough, TSM was the only team to show Beaulo any welcoming arms. The rest of the Siege esports scene was skeptical as to his ranked skill being transferable to pro play, to say the least. So with his signing to TSM and a great career ahead of him, there was still one massive issue. He was still underage. You have to be at least 18 years old to play in Pro League, and at the time of signing, he was only 17. But waiting to be 18 wasn't something really new to Beaulo. He had been waiting for this moment for over 3 years, so he gladly waited the few months he had left before he showed all of Pro League why he wasn't just a ranked star.
Guys are going to be extended into kitchen. I think TSM might overextend through office, and out of nowhere, Beaulo's just in the site. What is going on? How is he even able to enter? Now he's got control. Hopefully, the bomb is being planted out of nowhere. TSM making an aggressive rush and a rush plant. This might work out for TSM.
Sexy King able to take down 2 there, but a trade out from Beaulo. Now we stand at a 3v3 in the post plant scenario. Another one rotating down, but Pauly will get one. Beaulo with 3 on the round now, looking for more. It's down to the 2v2. Sexy Cake and PSG collapsing from the blue bar in the kitchen area, trying to bring in some yokai drones. Drones on the attacking side being sent out as well. Beaulo not spotting the yokai, coming closer and closer as the Jaws music amplifies. But now in the hallway, that's 4 for Beaulo. Will he get the ace? Turn in the corner.
Give it to him!
Beaulo!
Let's go!
Give him the ace, put it in the montage. TSM up 2-0.
Now, the big thing for TSM is that they cannot overswing here. It's going to be a very decisive moment for them when they're able to actually battle back against Beast Coast. That's not the opener that you're looking for as Dribble take down Merc. Beaulo has to try and play this out from the freezer hallway, but he's been discovered. He's going to get it down, but they're actually going to be able to take out Shala behind him as well. Beaulo for 2, Beaulo for 3. Beaulo's clutching it out. He's got the pistol! Beaulo will keep TSM alive!
After an amazing start to a career from Beaulo, how was his Pro League career afterward? To say the least, it had been nothing short of fruitful.
Congratulations to TSM. They are your 6th Invitational 2022 champions. NA lifts its 3rd hammer over the course of the Invitational. 6 events we've had, half of them belong to North America, and this one is for TSM.
Not only has he won MVP for many Siege events, but he's gone on to win a major in 2022, with TSM winning $1 million in the process. But it was a long road to get here. He played competitively for many months before this would ever happen, and had to sacrifice a large portion of his social media status that he had just built up to become a champion. After sort of beating Pro League in a way by winning an Invitational, which is the biggest Siege event you can win, and only getting worse from there statistically speaking, Beaulo had a choice to make. He could either stay playing in Pro League to accomplish a goal he had already kind of completed, further ruining his content career, or he could go back to the content and make an old career even better. For Beaulo, this was a no-brainer, so on January 28th of 2023, Beaulo would retire from Siege Esports, and this video titled "Thank You for Everything."
No easy way to do this. I am retiring from Rainbow Six Pro Play. I've been playing Siege for 7 years now, about half that time as a pro player. I started my Siege journey as a casual gamer, turned content creator, turned pro player, and nothing short of a dream come true. As much as I love playing competitive Siege, ever since becoming a pro, my content and my community were on the back burners. And I think it's time to change that. I still love Siege. I'm not stepping away from Siege. I'm planning on playing it a whole lot more than I have been. But I just want to focus more on content and myself.
So with his retirement in place and his goals for the future set in motion, it was time for Beaulo to get back to his grassroots. And for a while, he did. The only issue was that when he did, his views didn't come back like he did. They stayed relatively similar to what they were at before, even with him uploading more often. Not only this, but to some people's perspective, they actually kind of slightly decreased. This made Beaulo think about his decision overall. Should I have left Pro League? Is Siege content dying? Is the game dying? Did the fans like my content more when I was in Pro League? His mind was spiraling, until one day, he got a message from an esports team I'm sure you know all too well. Arguably one of the biggest esports teams to ever touch North American Siege, and a team that would pay him well, very well. This team was Dark Zero. So did Beaulo accept the call? Well, quite frankly, it would be stupid not to. Not because of his lackluster content comeback, but more importantly for the specific team that picked him up. You see, Dark Zero is, for lack of a better word, rich. and I mean filthy rich. And one of the issues with why Beaulo left was because Pro League players couldn't get paid enough to justify how hard they were working. Even to this day, you have teams like Team Mirage and Bleed who have gone through multiple controversies for outright never paying their players their prize money. Out of fear that something similar to this might happen, this was a key factor in why Beaulo left the scene. But on a team like Dark Zero, whose money was never going to be an issue, he didn't have to worry about it. If they were negotiating to get him out of retirement on their team as well, I'm sure he talked to them about still maintaining his content in the meantime if they wanted him on the team, which is the other big roadblock that could be in his way if he were to sign to them. So with the two issues that made him retire just completely gone, coming out of retirement was the easiest decision Beaulo ever had to make, even easier than when he left in the first place.
I'm back.
The comments on his return video titled "I'm back" were overwhelmingly positive, showing that not only had Beaulo missed his career as a pro, but so had his fans. So with Beaulo on Dark Zero with one of the best teams in America and his fans' support behind him, it seemed that it was only up from here. Or was it? You see, when Beaulo came back, he had some rust to shake off. And I mean a lot of rust to shake off. He was bottom fragging in games, statistically rated pretty low compared to the average pro player, and was making really silly mistakes like this hatch example here.
AMB's gonna have to try and step up to the plate. He knows one's here, he knows one has to be on red. Last one more than likely has to be over on the con side, but now it's just up to Geo. And with very minimal time and Bo and Pamba having a beautiful cross here, oh, this might be all she wrote. He'll be able to clean those up, but on such little time, all Bo has to do is just play things out appropriately here.
Wait, what?
He's underneath.
Wait,
this
no!
might actually, there's no out.
No!
No, Bo, no!
No!
Goodness gracious! That is the most insane finish to a game in the NAL that we have had in a very long time, ladies and gentlemen.
We're overthinking it, boys. We got 3 seconds left, and we're dropping. He had to have fallen accidentally. Like, that's the only solution I could think of. Like this is Beaulo, right? This is a world champion player. 3 seconds until Geo can't, has to fall off the diffuser, has to stick it. 3 seconds until that point. And he drops con hatch. That had to have been an accident.
This one clip got so much negative attention on Twitter that he had to make a public explanation as to what happened on his stream just moments later after it happened.
Yo, I talk about it once, no more, no mas. Uno, no mas. So we were fighting them, okay? Green box, red, me con. I was holding green door. Killed, I think, Nafe on green box. I'm like, shit, dog. Because I peeked out, didn't see him. He was laying down on the fucking green door. And I was like, all right, I'm not staying here any longer because I saw the server guy go red and he was going to eventually come around red hall if he made it that far. Okay, killed Nafe. I'm like, all right, I'm out, peace. Or backing up. And then I honestly, at first, I didn't realize it was a 1v1. And then when I did, I saw the time and it was the clash. The clash was green fucking door. Ran in, I saw the time, there was no time on the clock. And I knew he was one. And I thought I fucking heard this guy. Clash's shield is so fucking loud, okay? So loud. I thought I heard him running to me con. I thought he was, instead of when he went to green box, the defuse, I thought he was going green box to con to fucking run and kill me. Cause he was fucking moving. I was like, all right, he literally, if he swings through this door and tries to kill me, I win the round. Literally win the round because the time, there's just no time. Instead, he was fucking hopping on the plant. The audio I heard was just him fucking going to green box and fucking defusing it. Oh well. Oopsies.
Moments like this and bad game performances would continue to pile up over the course of the next season, leaving many people to believe that Beaulo was washed. However, it may not have actually been his fault. One thing I haven't told you about is a specific man on his team named Canadian. Canadian is one of the most well-respected IGLs in Siege's history as a game, and single-handedly made Dark Zero a good team and put it on the map. His unorthodox strategy and game theory have shot him up in the ranks, and was one of the many reasons that Beaulo joined the team to begin with. There was a slight issue, however. A different player on the team named Nafe didn't like the way that Canadian IGL'd. It's unclear the exact context as to why what I'm about to say happened actually happened, but after Nafe and a few others complained about Canadian's poor team conduct, Canadian was just kicked off his own team, a team that he had built from the ground up. He was then replaced by a very inexperienced player named Kobilax and had revenge set in his sights. With Nafe as the new IGL, it seemed that any hope for this team was gone, especially with Canadian joining Team Sonics with the amazing fragger named Ambi, who were going back and competing against Dark Zero and completely dogging on them. It seemed that any hope for this team was absolutely gone. Ironically enough though, this roster change made both of those teams better, and for whatever reason actually helped Beaulo find his groove in Dark Zero that would make him play like a completely new man.
And firing away with the leadership of Canadian guiding them.
Great execution.
Diaz, unfortunately, will not last that much longer as DZ are able to open things up. That actually looks like it might have been a botched smoke, and Nafe will immediately sprint in. Newers amidst the frenzy with 1 kill, but the diffuser is at the halfway point. Nafe still searching for his first kill. As Beaulo guns down Newers, the diffuser goes, and what was still about 2.5 minutes will now go down to 45 seconds. DZ to watch over top of that diffuser. Hat walks on in, but he's been leading the team to success. Where is DZ to get this diffuser? They managed to get it down. The Fenrir of Hat almost gets it done. He was a second away from pulling it off.
And at this point, we've caught up to the present day. So now that you know the story of Beaulo, where is he now and how is he doing? Well, he's still crushing it on Dark Zero, playing in Pro League. It seems that every day he's getting just slightly better and finding the groove he needs to find. When he's not doing that, he's streaming and making content, truly getting the best of both of his worlds. He's also just announced that he's actually having a kid, which is truly amazing. It seems like all of the time and effort he put into life is finally paying off. It's safe to say that Beaulo made a name for himself. He not only changed as a player and a man, but also the game and how everyone plays it. He's gone on from inspiring ranked kids to move like he does, to inspiring the pro Siege scene as a whole. Things like inspiration, transformation, and victory. That is the story of Beaulo. But with that out of the way, that's it for this video. Check out this next video, and I'll see you there.